My sister Sarah had been talking about her new boyfriend for months. Armin is amazing, she kept saying. He's successful, smart, classy. You'll love him. I didn't say anything. I rarely judged people before meeting them. But something about the way she said, successful, every single time made me feel like she assumed I cared about money. Which I didn't, not anymore. After selling my software company last year, I had quietly become a multimillionaire. But I had kept my wealth private. Not even Sarah knew. I still lived in my modest apartment, drove my old car, and dressed simply because luxury never impressed me. People did. So when Sarah invited me to a small, casual dinner to meet Armin, I agreed. But the moment I saw him, something in his smirk told me I already knew exactly who he was. The moment I stepped into the restaurant, Armin's eyes scanned me from head to toe. He didn't even hide it. "Oh," he said, lifting an eyebrow. "You're the brother." Before I could answer, he forced a smile. "You look simple." Sarah elbowed him lightly, forcing a laugh as if he were joking. But he wasn't. I ignored the comment. I had met men like him before, men who measured worth by designer labels and social status. We sat at a candlelit table, and before we were even served appetizers, he found new ways to belittle me. "So what do you do?" he asked, sipping his wine like a king judging peasants. "I run a small business," I replied simply. He smirked. "A small one. Cute." Sarah looked uncomfortable. "Armin, stop." "What? I'm just asking. I want to know what kind of background your family has." "It matters," he said. "Background," like I was beneath him. I kept calm. People like him always revealed themselves without help. Throughout dinner he insulted everything, my shirt, my phone model, my career, even my posture. He talked nonstop about his imported car, his expensive watch, his elite friends, his gym membership that cost more than my monthly rent, at least, that's what he assumed. "Do you ever upgrade anything?" Armin asked rudely. "I mean, your vibe is just so ordinary." Ordinary. That was the word people used before my app went viral. That was the word bullies used when my father lost his job and we lived on instant noodles. Ordinary was the word society used to underestimate people like me. But tonight it didn't bother me. I was watching my sister slowly realize who Armin truly was. He leaned back arrogantly. "Sarah told me you two were close. But seeing you now, you two seem from different worlds." Finally, I looked him straight in the eyes. "Maybe you're right," I said calmly. "We might be from different worlds." He grinned widely, satisfied. "Exactly. No offense, but before he could finish, the waiter brought our food. Armin snapped his fingers at the waiter like servants were disposable. After dessert, Armin suggested, "Let's go to a lounge nearby." "But," he looked directly at me. "You might not fit in there." Sarah gasped. "Armin, stop being rude. I'm being honest," he shrugged. "Places I go require a certain level." Finally, Sarah turned to me, her voice shaking. "I'm sorry. He's not usually like this." But she knew he was lying. She knew this was who he was. I smiled calmly. "It's fine. I don't need to prove anything." But Armin wasn't done. "By the way, next time you meet successful people like me, maybe dress better. It'll help your confidence." That was the moment I saw it, Sarah's heartbreak. Not because he insulted me, but because she finally realized he wasn't insulting me, he was insulting her family, and that was something she couldn't ignore. A silence fell over the table. Even Armin didn't know what to say next. But I did. I took out my phone, opened an email, and placed it on the table between us. The headline glowed brightly. "Congratulations. Forbes 30 under 30. Feature confirmed." Armin blinked. "What's that?" I tilted the screen toward him. "It's about the company I built. The company I sold last year." His smirk faded. "Sold," he repeated slowly. "For 8 figures, I said casually." Sarah's fork dropped. Armin leaned forward, confusion turning into panic. Eight figures? You mean millions?" I nodded. His voice cracked. "You're lying." I opened my banking app. His eyes widened so much I thought they'd fall out. But you said small business." "It was small," I replied. "Until it wasn't." Armin swallowed hard. For the first time all night, he was silent, really silent. The air around the table changed instantly. Armin kept opening and closing his mouth like he wanted to speak but couldn't find the words. His arrogance collapsed into shock. The same man who mocked my shirt suddenly looked like a student waiting for the teacher's permission to breathe. Sarah stared at me, her lips trembling. You never told me." I smiled softly. "It didn't matter. You never treated me differently." Armin finally found his voice. So, you're rich. Comfortable, I corrected. Very comfortable. The waiter returned with the bill. Armin reached quickly for it, pretending to maintain his dominance. I'll take care of this. No, I interrupted. Let me. He froze. His hand slowly slid back as if the bill were too heavy for him now. I paid without blinking. Armin watched me sign the receipt like I was performing magic. When we walked out of the restaurant, he rushed to open the door for me, a sharp contrast to the arrogance he displayed earlier. Do you need a ride? He asked politely. No, I said. I'm fine. But he insisted. It's no trouble. I noticed him subtly hiding the scratches on his luxury car. The same car he bragged about for an hour. I almost laughed. Sarah stayed silent the whole ride back to her place. Her face revealed everything: anger, disappointment, heartbreak. Armin kept glancing at me in the rearview mirror nervously, like I held the power to decide his future. As we reached their apartment, Sarah finally turned to him. Why were you so rude? Armin stammered. I wasn't rude. I didn't know what? She snapped. That my brother had money. That's what decides how you treat someone. His jaw tightened. I didn't mean, you insulted him all night. She cried. And now that you think he's rich, suddenly you're respectful. Silence. Armin looked at me desperately. I was joking, you know, teasing. I repeated softly. If I were actually poor, would it still be a joke? His face drained of color. Sarah stepped away from him. Armin, you embarrassed yourself. You showed exactly who you are. Seeing her hurt made me step in. Sarah, calm down. No, she said firmly. He treats people like they're below him. And worse, he thinks money gives him value. Armin tried to salvage himself. I swear, I didn't know. If you had known, she cut in, you would have pretended to be kind. That's worse. He opened his mouth but said nothing. I decided to end this gently. Armin, wealth doesn't make someone important. Character does. He avoided my eyes. He knew the truth had been spoken. Sarah looked at him one last time. I can't be with someone who disrespects my family. Or anyone. Those words broke him more than anything I could have said. He reached out to her, but she stepped back. Goodbye, Armin. We walked away, leaving him standing alone in the parking lot, stunned. Sarah didn't cry until we reached the stairs. Then everything she had been holding inside burst out. I'm so sorry he treated you like that. I hugged her. None of this is your fault. But I didn't see who he really was. You saw him, I said. Tonight you saw the real him. That's what matters. She wiped her tears. I'm proud of you, you know. Not for being rich, but for being kind, even when he wasn't. I smiled. Kindness doesn't cost anything. She laughed through her tears. You're the millionaire. You should know. Later that night, as I drove home, I thought about how easily people judged worth through appearances. And how quickly respect changed when they learned the truth. It reminded me of something I once heard. Money doesn't change people, it reveals them. Armin revealed exactly who he was. And I revealed nothing, except the fact that I didn't need anyone's approval. My truth wasn't about wealth. My truth was about dignity. And dignity always wins.